والسلام على نبيه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has enabled us to see this beautiful day after the beautiful month of Ramadan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a snapshot of our entire life in this month. Because in this month of Ramadan that just went by, it wasn't easy to fast every day, to get up early for suhoor, to pray late at night, to work with broken sleep, to go to school or to study on broken sleep. It wasn't easy, but we had to work. And then Allah gives us this beautiful day of Eid afterwards. Now in our lives, no matter how many years we live, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, whatever it may be, it's very similar in that we work, we have to pray, we have to pay our zakat, we have to fast Ramadan. But at the end, there's also something, and that is Jannah. And there's something similar between the day of Eid and Jannah that Allah reminds us of in the Quran. Because the people of Jannah, what happens is Allah says, they say, "Ha'umuqra'u kitabiyya." They greet one another and say, "We are from the people of Jannah," just as we greet one another today on Eid. فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. And they're with their friends and their family, just very similar to how it is on Eid day. Then Allah says, "Kulu washrabu." Eat and drink, very similar to how it is on Eid day. So Allah gives us a reminder of Jannah. And this is our ultimate goal, our ultimate aim. And in the month of Ramadan, we all maybe went to the masjid more, we all maybe prayed more, we all maybe did more tasbih, we said subhanallah more. In fact, subhanallah, the word subhanallah, it comes from the Arabic sub, which means to swim. But not just to swim, it means to swim with your head above the water. It's what keeps you afloat, keeps you alive. And so I did a calculation. On average, how many times did we say subhanallah in the month of Ramadan? Just on the obligatory prayers. And it's about 5,000 times. That's not the tarawih, that's not sunnah, it's not nafil, just in the obligatory prayers. And many say that one tasbih in Ramadan is equal to 1,000 outside the Ramadan. So that's about 5 million times you would have said subhanallah. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that when you say one subhanallah, tamla al-mizan, that it fills your scales with good deeds. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those people whose scales are filled with good deeds. Ameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst the people of Jannah. Ameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wa salam ala nabihi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. So this day, the day of Eid, it is very similar. Allah gives us comparisons to how it will be like in Jannah. And we know from the famous hadith in Sahih Bukhari, and عِنْدَ ظَنِّ عَبْدِي بِي, that Allah says He is with us as we feel He is. Meaning always think good about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know that in this life, we see our brothers, our sisters are going through a lot of difficulty. Whether it be in Gaza, whether it be in the West Bank, whether it be in Sudan, whether it be in Yemen. And when we look at some of the videos of what they say over there, when they've lost their family members, their parents, their children, their husbands, their wives, what do they say? They are talking about Jannah. They're saying, don't worry about us, we will be in Jannah with them. This is the ultimate goal. And so for us, when it comes to Jannah, when it comes to ourselves, we know that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said that the person that experiences the most difficult life, the most difficult torture that you could ever imagine in this life, and that person is then dipped in Jannah, not even put into, just dipped into Jannah. And they are then asked, the hadith in Sahih Muslim, did you ever have any difficulty in your life? And they will say no. Just one dip in Jannah. In fact, the last person that will ever enter Jannah, the hadith in Sahih Muslim as well, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that that person will have as if it is this world and 10 times more. Meaning, imagine his house. He's having to get from one part of his house to the other. You have to take a plane. That's how big the house is. And so for us, when we see our brothers, our sisters, they're going through difficulty, it's important to remember the end goal. That the end goal, it is Jannah. And so for us in this life, there are two things I will finish with. Two things we need to do. One is short term and one is a bit longer. So in the longer term, we all went to the masjid more, we all prayed more, we all read more Quran. From today, from tomorrow, we have to take something from Ramadan with us. Whether it be reciting one verse every day from the Quran, whether it be giving £1 in charity every Friday, whether it's praying a sunnah prayer, something that we can take as we get closer to Allah, so that we can be amongst the people of Jannah, so that we can be, as I mentioned, in terms of swimming with our head afloat, getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second thing is short term. We know the hadith in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Man sama Ramadan," whoever fasts for a month of Ramadan, ثُمَّ أَتْبَعُهُ سِتًّا مِنْ شَوَّالٍ, and then you fast 6 days from Shawwal, كَانَ كَصِيَامِ دَهْرٍ. It is as if you would fast the entire year. So those are the two things that we want to take from this. One is short term and one is long term. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us all amongst those whose deeds are accepted. Ameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst the people of Jannah. Ameen. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He alleviates all the suffering that our brothers and sisters are going through. Ameen. We ask Allah that He frees our brothers and sisters in Gaza, that He enables the freeing of Masjid Al-Aqsa, that He enables us all to be as one ummah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. تقبل الله منا ومنكم. عيد مبارك.